Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 86. It is Wednesday, October the 22nd, 2025, and I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. Oh, these are just glorious times. As I do at the beginning of every video, I want to send love, hugs, and kisses to my husband Stan for writing and performing the intro song that you just heard. If you are new to my FlossTube channel, welcome. I hope you will like what you see. You will subscribe, ring the bell, share, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. And for all of you that are returning, hello. You all know you mean the world to me, and I look forward to our time together every 2 weeks. So, I have a huge laundry basket of whips here. And I have several things to go over, and so I think that we should just jump in and do it. So I don't really have any real life updates other than Stan did have his heart workup, which included a echocardiogram and a stress test. And according, I'm not a cardiologist, but my review of the reports, I think things look really good. So that is really wonderful news. So hopefully life will completely settle down, and we'll just continue enjoying being together and being healthy. Kids are okay, grandkids are okay. Holidays are coming, from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas. So we all have a lot to look forward to. Zoom number 24 happened last week. And oh my goodness, as I say every time, it was glorious. The surprise guest FlossTuber was Barbara of Stitching and Tea with B. She is just a delight. She is a beautiful stitcher. She has a voice that wraps you up in a warm blanket. And she has an amazing expertise in teas and the drinking of teas. And she shared a lot of that with the group on Sunday. And Barbara, it was just wonderful. So thank you for being the surprise guest FlossTuber. But we had other FlossTubers. We had Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher, and I do want to put a plug in. She has just posted not too long ago a finishing parade of her Halloween and fall pieces, and it is not to be missed. It is really inspiring, especially if you stitch in season. We had Eli of Thick Threads, and Eli is getting ready to go to his first live retreat, and we were all very, very excited for him. And he was the only guy in the group of a bunch of old women, and he was just a delight. Thank you, Eli, for being there. We also had Mary of A Mary Stitcher, and Mary, it was wonderful to have you there. Mary is the one that gifted me the beautiful chart of Zippy, the hummingbird. And she is just a delight, and I will have everybody linked below. To all of the rest of you that were there, you just brightened my life. It was, we were joking because I was saying that at the end of every video, I see Stan and I go, oh, my heart's so full. And he knows that I'm going to say that but you all did make my heart so full, and you all have on these Zooms made my heart so full. And I am so glad I stumbled upon doing this over a year ago, because it is it's community, and it's watching groups get together and find the things that they have in common. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So, okay, I wanted to give the list of the next 10 people for Zoom number 25, which will be on November 2nd, which will be a Sunday. That is the change of daylight savings time. So, I know we've got a lot of time zones that we're dealing with, but the 12 to 2 is Pacific Standard Time. And so just watch your time zones on that day. So without further ado, let's do the 10. Okay, the first one is Beverly Ingram, M-M3B, Flower to Power, that's Lorraine, VirginiaEfta, Connie Schweitzer, 8163, Kathy's Quilts and Stitching. I don't want to say this incorrectly, but it's Rofigan 6028, and I will have these listed below. Number 7 is Kathy Loves Stitching. Number 8 is suzyqrunswithneedles. I'm very excited about that. Number 9 is Kim Ramelli 6171. And number 10 is ABZ Creative 1815. So, if I called your name and you have not filled out the Google form so that I will have your email, I will have a link for the Google form in the drop-down box just below the list of 10 people whose names were called. So if you would go there and give me your email address, I usually try to send the link out 2 to 3 days prior to the Sunday meeting. Now, the next Zoom would be on a Sunday when I am at a retreat. And then that really throws us into the end of November and then the month of December. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause our regular every 2-week Zooms until January, but don't be surprised if we have some spontaneous impromptu ones in the middle. But I know everybody, there's always so many activities going on around the holidays, and I think it's just easier if we get through those, and then we'll get back into our regular schedule in January of 2026. So, okay, so that was the Zoom and the 10 people. All right. We did have 2 giveaways last time, and the first one was the pollinator sampler from Mud Puppy Stitchery. And it is, I will be showing a picture of it because it's in my whip pile. But the winner of that, and I'll also run the card across, is Eleanor Needlewoman. So Eleanor Needlewoman, if you will email me your email address, I can send you that pattern immediately. So congratulations. And then the second one was graciously donated by Sarah of Sobe Stitchery. And this is the Louisa May Alcott, Louisa's Wisdom. And the winner of that is Joanne, the Eclectic Stitcher. So Joanne, I think I have your email address, but just to be safe, would you just send it to me again, and I can get that chart out to you. So congratulations to both of you. And thank you to Kinsey of Mud Puppy Stitchery and Sarah of Sobe Stitchery. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, I am. Sobe Stitchery, for allowing me to give 2 of your beautiful charts away as a giveaway. Okay, next, for the giveaway for next time. As you know, I discussed prior and that I have been trying to highlight some of the international stitchers, designers, well, they're stitchers too, but international designers just as a way of sending some love their way with all of the tariff situation. And we just had a wonderful giveaway with Joanna from Mojo Stitches. And I do want to show Joanna graciously allowed me to pick a chart as well. And I picked Among the Roses. Just look at that. So if you think that's as beautiful as I do, please go, and I will have her linked below, her Etsy shop. And but this will be another addition to my bird samplers. And Joanna, that was very kind of you to allow me to pick a chart. So what I did was, the winner of that, I purchased one of Joanna's charts. I purchased the chart that the winner wanted, and then we had that sent to her. So this week, or over the next 2 weeks, I have been in contact with Diana of Diana Bloom Designs. She has an Etsy store, she has a FlossTube, and she has a wonderful Patreon. And Diana has been doing some absolutely incredible bird charting. And I will have her Etsy linked below. And if you guys would go and follow her store on Etsy and be looking at the charts, and if your name is picked, I would like you to put the word bird. I will run that across. Bird will be the key word. And but go ahead and look at her charts and maybe buy a couple. And then when I pick the winner with the next FlossTube, I will purchase that, and we will get that emailed to you right away. It will be a PDF, and so it is open to everybody. So Diana, our conversation back and forth was delightful. She did tell me that this chart was special to her because her grandmother had hummingbirds, and so you guys can imagine that I'm really looking forward to stitching another hummingbird. So, okay. So that is our giveaway. So that will be next week, and the key word will be bird, B-I-R-D. I have 3 new floss tubers that I want to shout out today. I just had a treasure trove of hitting floss tubers that have just put out their first, few floss tubes. And the first one is Marissa of Stitchy Noir, N-O-I-R. I will have her linked below. That's always been a difficult word for me. Marissa started out with needlepoint, but she has been cross-stitching for about 25 years. She does a variety of stitching. She does max pigeon, she does full coverage, and what's extremely interesting is that she is a college professor, and she teaches film studies. And so at the end of every video, she does talk about an old movie, and a lot of them are, you can watch them on YouTube. So I thought that was quite clever. And her FlossTube number 5 was a Halloween finish parade, and it was fabulous. Marissa and her family, they do love Halloween, and so I encourage you, please go over, give her a warm welcome, subscribe, and just enjoy her FlossTube. Okay, second, I have Britta, and Britta, I think, has a name other than Britta, but I will run that across because I'm looking at my notes, and for some reason I didn't write that. But I watched her first FlossTube, and it was a whip parade. She is also a runner like Andrew, and she knits, and she had an incredible finish on Halloween time, which I will be showing in my whip pile. So that was very inspiring. So Britta, welcome, and let's all go over and subscribe and make her feel welcome as well. And then the final new floss tuber is Hazeline's daughter, and this is Vanetta Kay, and Vanetta did a sampler whip parade. It's in 2 parts. So it was it was just fabulous. I know she likes Teresa Kogut, she likes Lori Holt, and she was just very articulate on screen and just a joy to watch. So that's the three floss tubes that I wanted to shout out. So let's make them feel welcome, as we know how to do, and go there and subscribe and watch their videos. All right, and then on that same note, I did mention Karen, the recovering monogamous stitcher, and she had the finish parade. I just finished yesterday. Kim, the contented needleworker, did a whip parade. It is just a joy and a feast for the eyes. Not only is Kim's setting fabulous, her choice in charts and colors and how she stitches is just an incredible inspiration. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go over and take a look. Kim and I have some stitching in common, and I'm sure that will continue as time goes on. So, okay, I think we'll do shares, and I have a few. So I'm very excited about this because it's like, yeah, I have a few, and I'm thrilled. So let's get started. The first one is from Anka. And hi, Anka. And the first one is Rebecca Worrell Sampler, 1847. And this is a design that I adore, by the Wishing Thorn. And she stitched it with some changes on a 40-count beige desert linen from Barbarall Creations. The next piece is Gather Thy Harvest Pin Keep. It's a design by Stacy Nash Primitives, and she stitched with a Versoix on a 40-count linen called Ancient Ruin from Fox and Rabbit. And the third one is Shiny Objects Ornaments, Shiny Objects Ornaments, and they're by Hands On Design. And this is stitched on a 40-count seaweed linen from Fox and Rabbit. Anka, your photography is brilliant, and I love all the care that you take in your photographs. So thank you for sending those, and I look forward every floss tube to have something of yours to share. My next piece is from Pat, and so she's got two. She has three. She has Toil and Trouble. She has Something Wicked, and The Raven, and I think these are all by Lottie Da. She stitched these on 30-count Weeks Tiger Eye linen, and they are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Pat, and very inspirational for Halloween. Oh, you know what? She actually had more information. So she finished Toil and Trouble first, and it was framed a year ago. Okay, and after that, she quickly got the other two stitched up and framed, and she was able to do them in the same framing material, frames. And so the frames are unusual, and they're quite gorgeous. So Pat, thank you for that. Carol is our next share, and this is the Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu. And Carol has graciously, over the last month or so, several months maybe, has been sending me her progress on this, because this is a whip of mine. And she stitched it on, and now it's finished and together. And she stitched it with floss from Stash on a 40-count mocha by Bestitch Me Fabrics. And that's the Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu by Teresa Kogut. So Carol, I so appreciate you letting me share in your journey on that piece. Marion sent a piece that is at least 40 years old. This is incredible. It shows a church in her village of Loppersum in the north of the Netherlands. The church is more than 800 years old, and she stitched it on an easy count Zweigert, 25 count 1/1 with DMC 4065. she describes it as being like the work of a monk or painstaking work. She changed some parts of the pattern, like the pointers of the wind direction on the roof and the clouds and the birds. And I just think that this is fabulous. And how wonderful to be able to stitch something that has so much meaning to you in the town where you grew up. Okay, next we have Allison, and her finish is Celtic Pumpkin by Frony Ritter Designs, and she used all the called for colors and all the beads. She stitched it on 40 count Akron by hand dyed by Rolanda, and you will see both pieces, the piece before the beads and the piece after the beads. So thank you, Allison, and again, what a gorgeous fall piece. Norma sent 2 pieces, and the first one is Pumpkin Cottage, and this is a design that was in the Just Cross Stitch Autumn 2024 issue. It's stitched on a 28 count unknown off-white fabric with the called for DMC. And her second piece is Struttin', which is the design by Teresa Kogut, and it's worked on Weeks Dye Works 35 count tin roof with the called for threads, and they're just fabulous. Norma, thank you so much for sharing those. Desiree sent Love Abide by Lottie Da. This was done on a 36 count scrimshaw, which is a Cedar River linen fabric. She used the Vicki Clayton silks. She left off the alphabet at the bottom and included the scripture from 1 Corinthians 13:13. Next, Michael, my friend Michael from Dallas. Michael finished and framed his Baldequin birdies, and of course he's so thrilled to have this. It's stitched on a 35 count Weeks Dye Works linen called Havana, and he used DMC 3371, and I think that this is just a striking finish with the Havana and the dark brown stitches. So Michael, thank you, and what a wonderful addition to your home. Deborah, and this is Debora, she finished A Bear and a Moose by Jean Farish Needleworks, and this was stitched on a 16 count Atomic Ranch in the color Storm with the called for overdyes and DMC. So Deborah, thank you for sending that. And Deborah, the Shingle Spring Stitcher, she sent, this is the Needleworkers Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Deborah stitches Brenda Gervais on Sundays, and it took her 9 Sundays and 1 Saturday to get this finished. This is stitched on a 40 count linen Eleanor's Ivory by Swan Bay Fabrics, and all the chart listed overdyed floss was used. And finally, Connie was kind enough to send her finish from many years ago of Pleasant Words. And I don't have the chart with me. It is one that was gifted to me that I have shown that had well, you're seeing the picture. But anyway, she finished this a long time ago, and she let me know. And so I asked her if she would send that so I could share it with all of you. She doesn't have any of the information. It's been a long time. So those, wow, are our shares for this FlossTube. And oh my goodness, it just, it's so inspirational. Please know that I realize that you all take that moment or two out of your day to send those photographs to me so that I can share with all of you. And I know from the comments that all of you enjoy it so much. So, okay, yay. Now, before I jump into my stitching, I had one more thing I wanted to talk about. and I know a lot of floss tubers are talking about the Jingle Ball. And I have my ticket, and it is the first weekend in November. But I did have a viewer that reached out to me, and it's going to be her first Jingle Ball. And she was, just rightfully apprehensive. How does it work? How do we do it? And she just wants to make it the best time that she can. So, of course, I responded. I certainly suggested watching all of Stephanie's videos, because Stephanie does a great job of giving us the information. But I remember my first one, and there were a lot of things that I wasn't quite comfortable with or wasn't sure I was doing correctly. So, having several of Stephanie's virtual retreats under my belt, I feel a lot more confident, actually. But what I was thinking, let's all be aware that there are many people, maybe our friends, maybe people that watch FlossTube, that have reached out, that it's going to be their first one. And I was thinking it would be really cool if we sort of had a buddy system. So Lois, you're going to be my buddy. And, when you go into a stitching room, you can text or let your buddy know where you are, so they can get to experience being in a stitching room. And if they have any questions that aren't technical, you're there, and you're just sort of a person that they can rely on. So let's think about that. Keep our eyes open and our ears alert to anyone that may be new, or maybe someone that hasn't purchased their Jingle Ball ticket because it would be their first. And if you guys have another stitching friend that has done this before, reach out to them, and let's be open and willing to help them have the best experience with Jingle Ball. So I thought that would be like a grand idea, so that so many more could enjoy it, certainly as much as I have, and as many of you have had in the past. So, okay, so a buddy system for Jingle Ball. All right. So I did not have any new starts, but I sure worked on a lot of charts. But I did have a finish that I'm very excited to share with all of you, and that is Away We Ride. And I'm going to hold it up here because I am pretty positive I have hit all the leaves and all the tops on the border. There is a possibility, and I will give it a look, that there could be a doodad that I have left out. And I actually think it looks just fine the way it is, but I will go back and compare my finish to the chart to make sure that everything is there. But this has been my 2 threads a day, and it's finished almost for the second time. But I am very happy. This is stitched on a 36 count Endora by Needle and Flax. I used Vicki Clayton silks, and I am just thrilled. I don't know if I'll get it framed for this Halloween, but it is finished, and I'm very happy. So I have another finished blackbird. But if you guys see anything else, don't hesitate to let me know. So that is Away We Ride. I'm very happy about it. Okay, and I want to tell you, you guys were all so incredibly supportive when I realized that I had just made so many mistakes on the first one, because I realized I couldn't fix it. I really wanted to stitch it, and I just turned my fabric to the other end and restarted it, and now I have it as a finish. So, and you guys were very supportive of that decision. So, in fact, just to show you how incredible this community is, I had people that commented or wrote to me that they would look at it, try to find the mistake, and frog it out for me. when you say something like that, oh my goodness, here we go. But when you say something like that out loud, you realize how absolutely incredible we are. So thank you. And you guys know who you were. Okay, so I think we will look at my book of days, and then we'll jump into the whips. So as you can see, lots of work each day on many things. And I need to include a way we write in my finishes. So I would have, you know, I actually have a new start that I'm not going to show today because I have so little on it. But I did start Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage, and I'll get more on it to show next time. So that will be 37 starts, and with the way we write, I will have 19 finishes so far for this year. So, okay. So my favorite time of the day, excuse me while I pull up the laundry basket from the other side, and I'm going to take a quick drink. And let's jump right in. Okay, so it looks like my two bird pieces, I've been trying to stitch on birds on Friday, are first and center. And so this is Birds of a Feather, Circle Together. This is by Mama Loves You, Mama Loves You GB. And I am stitching this on a 36 count love letter by Coloring Cotton, gorgeous fabric. And I'm using the called for DMC with the colors from the back of the original. So it should be the brighter colors. And this is my progress so far. There probably will be lots of threads. Well, not so bad. But as you can see, this bird is completely done. I am bringing all this leaves and branches underneath here. And I only have 2 more birds. Kim, Contented Needleworker, is also working on this. I think she's got a couple more birds. She's a little bit ahead, but we're not racing. So anyway, Birds of a Feather, Circle Together, Mama Loves You GB. And I just love it. Okay, and it lives in an incredible project bag that is made by Alicia of Upper Meadow Design Company. And this is one that has the incredible pocket on the inside, and it is just fabulous. So Alicia and I started Elizabeth Stevenson together on her birthday. I need to get back and do some. My border met, and I think Alicia's border has met as well. Okay, and then my second piece for Bird Friday is Mojo Stitches, Mary Barton's work. And I got, and I'm stitching this on a 40 count linen prairie grass by Seraphim. And I'm using a mixture of DMC and over-dyed floss. And it may not look a lot different than when you saw it last, but I did bring the bird, got a foot done. I have brought this down. But I do love it. And I think something happened on that Friday that my work time in the afternoon was shortened on this one. But I did get stitches in it, so I wanted to share it. And it's a beautiful chart. And it is living in my beautiful project bag that Brenda made for me. Look at those roses. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right. Next, we have, speaking of birds, we have Baldequin Birdies by Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is the piece that I'm doing for the hashtag Whip into Shape that correlates with Andrew's training now for the New York Marathon, which will be run on November the 2nd, which is when our Zoom will be. he will be done by the time the Zoom starts, and we can celebrate his finish. And I have kept up with his running. I have put that many stitches. This is on a 25 count light mushroom Lugana. I'm doing it 1/1 with Pirate and Robin in the color Redstone. So I actually came over here. This is where I put the 360 stitches last Saturday. So I'm probably not going to have this finished for by the end of the year, but that's okay because I love working on it. And I have been working on it every week because of Andrew's hashtag. Did you guys see the new Modern Folk Embroidery 2026 stitch along? Well, it's gorgeous. I will just leave it at that. And I know I'm going to want to do it, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay, next I have, this is, oh, I just wanted to stitch on it. This is just Sarah Pettingill, 1824 by Just Stitching Along. And this is a chart by Krista. And I just love it. And it's very exciting for me because I'm stitching it on a 40 count linen, which is Rhapsody by Moonshine Stitchery. But because there was just a few colors, I did, I'm using the 103s, which is, to me, just dreamy. So this is the progress I got on that. So I actually got quite a bit done because I got the letters all the way across. I got the H started. I got this border. Is it all the way across? Not quite. I think I have to go back and cross some of that. But oh my goodness, it is so gorgeous. So that's Sarah Pettingill, 1824 by Just Stitching Along. And oh, Phoebe's fabric is just a joy to stitch on. Okay. Phoebe also has another stitch along, stitch with me, with her, where she stitches on a project and then has her piano music running as she stitches, and it's so peaceful and calming. I love it. Okay, this is one of my whip go calls for the month of October, which is the Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. It is sort of one of my older, I probably have this is from 2022, but it should be done. I am stitching this on a 36 count cottage stone by Color and Cotton, and I'm using the called for silks. They did have to substitute Weathered Vine for Tacna Gold, and I am using Gentle Arts Maple Syrup for the Woolly Bear. So I'm contemplating making this a focus. I have been sort of ducking out of the focus piece that I was doing, much like Karen of the Recovering Monogamous Stitcher, where she selects her oldest whip and she gives it 7 days a month until it's done. I sort of pick what I feel like I may be close to having finished, and I think it's a beautiful enough chart that you guys would enjoy looking at it until I finish it. So this is where I am. So the border is all the way to the bottom. I took this band, I've gotten it across. I got this heart in, and I think I already had, no, you know what, I didn't. This wasn't finished because I know I stitched these, and I think I put the last 2 rows in this grass, whatever that is coming out of. So, but but I'm all the way down to the bottom. So that's what it's going to look like. It has had its 3 days for the month, which is the goal for my whip go. But I think I'm going to go ahead and give it the 7. I think I should. Let's make this my focus piece and get it done, because it's so gorgeous. So that is the Smith sampler. This was kitted up on my first trip to the attic, so it's obviously extremely special. Okay. Next we have, let's see what this is going to be. Oh, I needed to touch it because I just love it. This is a French Rosé by Running with, Running with Needles and Scissors. I am stitching this on a 40 count albarium by Cedar River Linen. And I'm using the called for overdyed silk, which is Flamingo by Gloriana. So I got a little bit done on it. I know I worked on borders. I worked on this border going down. I got these letters in to here. I took this border across. So I'm just dying to get to that flower pot. But that is a French Rosé by Running with Needles and Scissors. And it is just striking. It is so delicate and so beautiful. And I love that silk. I love the variegation. So that's a French Rosé. It is living in one of my bags that I just made with the fabric that was my mother's. I think I made 3 of these. Okay, and then this is my second whip go piece. I'm going to pull this just a little bit closer. Okay, my second whip go piece is Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a 36 count lichen by Tabby Cat. I'm using the overdyed flosses. I substituted, I think, the Weeks Dye Work Pepperoncini for the Classic Colorworks Pea Pod. And this is my progress. Now, I think this has only had 1 day of its 3. Let me get some of these out of the way. But here is, so I know I got the chimneys and I think the birds. I think that's what I did. And then I did do some work on the border. So that is Winter Wonderland. I think I have showed a finish of this by Deborah, the Shingle Spring Stitcher. She had a finish. But it's just gorgeous. You know, it just, I'm so proud. This is a little eyelet right here, and I think it's so beautiful. And it's 1 thread, 1 X off, but it's going to stay. Okay, so Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. And that is my second whip go call for October. What is today? Oh, it's the 22nd, so we haven't had our new numbers. Then I got some work done on Turtle Dove. French Hen by Satsuma Street. And this is where I am. So I know I got all kind of this done in here. Oh, I love working on these. So this is French Hen. And I still have 2 more that I have in my possession that I could get finished. Well, I'd like to by Christmas. Okay, then this is my red Sampler Thursday piece, which is, as you all know, unless those of you that are new. This is a French Fancy by Mama Loves You GB. I am stitching this on 56 count Cafe au lait, and I'm using the Versoix number 2644, the Soisserfine. And here is my progress. So look, I got 2 more letters done. I don't know if I did any border work this time. I can't remember. I probably did a little. I think I did some of the circles there. I try to at least do one thread, you know, one way or the other, because this is the end here. And so I would like to get this and get it started down. But look at those, sweet, sweet, sweet stitches. So that is a French Fancy by Mama Loves You GB. It lives in my project bag from Sarah, from Sew Me Sarah. Okay, next we have, oh, I just had to get this out. Oh, I love this too. Speaking of French, this is Emphaillante by Maximum Cross Stitch. I am stitching this on a 36 count Dirty Porcelain by Roxy Floss Co., and I'm using the called for DMC for the bright colorway. This is a piece that Ellen was working on when I went to Stitch North, and just watching her and seeing even just little bits of it, I just knew when it came out I had to have it. So this is my progress. So I know, I think I took all this across right here, and I started on this letter right here. And what I am doing is I have a basting thread that I'm running across so that I make sure that I keep my letters even. Isn't that gorgeous? There is just something about that combination of colors that just makes my heart soar. Not soar, S-O-R-E, but soar, S-O-A-R. So that is Emphaillante. And I think, I know several people, Carrie of Roxy Floss Co. has finished it. And, I want to say Trisha of Preb 409 on Instagram has a finish on that. And that is in this FlossTube bag that I made by me, which said there is some good in this world and it's worth fighting for. Okay. Oh, this is, I could just stitch on this the rest of the month of October. I am having so much fun. And that is Halloween Time by the Witchy Stitcher. Oh my goodness. It is so cute. I did make a mistake. This is orange. I wish I hadn't, but I'm not pulling it out. And I'm stitching it on a 36 count Genuine Jillian by Those Missing Stitches, which I do want to say again, these are fabulous fabrics. I feel awful. I want to say Leanne. I'm just completely going blank on her name that dyes these for Those Missing Stitches. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I'll run it across. Fabulous fabric. And so this is my progress. So look. So all of this is pretty much new. I may have had just the top of the hat. How cute. So that is Halloween Time by the Witchy Stitcher. It doesn't say on here, does it? I'm so embarrassed. I think it is Leanne, but sometimes I make up names. And that is, I do plan to put some more stitches in this month. And it is in a beautiful Teresa Kogut fabric little project bag that was made by Tammy of Creative Country Girl. It's gorgeous. And this is my first use of a toile, and I love it. So don't be afraid of a toile. It may have metal threads running through it, but it is not Krynic. Okay. This is, he got just a little bit of stitches, but I was so inspired by Karen, Recovering Monogamous Stitcher, and her finish. And you know, someone else, could it have been Marissa? It could have been one of the new floss tubers. You know, guys, I mean, I can barely remember what I had for breakfast. Did them together, did Prunella, and oh, it was so cute. Oh, I wish I could remember who that was. But anyway, I am stitching this on a 36 count R&R Barbara's Blend. I'm using the Call for DMC. And I think I did some border stitching over here. And I got quite a bit more of his head. So there's just a couple of rows of his head. And then I can start on his suit. I still got the house. There's still a lot of stitching. But it's fun. I just love his little eyes. How cute. So that's the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom by Not Forgotten Farms. And it's living in, which I showed last time, a new project bag with Halloween on the front, which is also Not Forgotten Farms. And made like that. Cute. Okay. I know I get a little excited about my project bags. Anyway, okay. Now, I also am running into a deadline because I want Aria's birth sampler ready for her birthday, which is the middle of November, the 14th. And so this has been coming out for a little bit of work every day. I think all I have is just this up here and the bird, and then I can do this. But I need to get cracking because I want it done. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count historical beige by Fabric Flair. I am using the unprinted part, and I'm using the Call for DMC. And look, so I have a lot more done. I need to put the porcupine, the back stitching in for that. But it's very, very close to the top part. So this is called Forest Friends. It's by Anna X Stitch on Etsy. And it's very cute. And that little girl is, I think she's going to be walking by her birthday, if she's not already walking. Oh, they grow up so fast, don't they? And then, let's see. Next, see, I told you I had a lot. I did some work on my Santa, and I'm calling him Candle Santa, which is right here. This is book number 88, The Prairie Schooler Old World Santas 2. And so this is the second one out of the book that I've done. So this is what I got done. So that one's close. This one's finished. And then this is and I'm stitching this on 36 count hog bristle by Fox and Rabbit. And they call for DMC. So that is and these will be ornaments when I fully finish those. Okay. I also did some Christmas stitching on, I think I worked 2 days on this, Merry and Bright by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count eucalyptus by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using the called for over dyed. And I work primarily on the bird. So I got all of this done on the bird. There's even stitches up here. It's kind of hard to see. So that is Merry and Bright by Cottage Garden Samplings. Still a bit to stitch. And it lives in a project bag made by me that I put my historical sampler company. This was their winter stitch along. And I put it on this. So, back, it's kind of sparkly. Okay, and then this is another Halloween piece I pulled out to get some stitches on, and I haven't touched this in a long time. And that's Midnight Ride by Blackbird Designs. And this is old enough, I mean, that I actually stitched it on 32 count. But I am stitching 1/2, and I'm using, so this is a 32 count XJU design, and the color is Jack-o'-lantern. And so this is, so I did, I think these 2 rows of alphabet, and then I'm bringing this down to here. But isn't that fabric fabulous? And I like the coverage. The coverage is fine. So that's 1/2 threads on 32 count. So that is Midnight Run. And I've never put anything on a box, so I'm really hoping that I get to do that. And then this one is living in another project bag with similar fabric. And I have this little bling and my tag that says what it is. So that is Midnight Ride. And I think we just got one more, which is, boy, I said, can you imagine what a whip parade will be like? This is my work on the Pollinator Sampler by Mud Puppy Stitchery. And I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count High Berry Gold by Swan Bay Fabrics, and I'm using the called for DMC. And what I did was I got this flower completely finished here in the corner. And then I took the border across a little further. I would love to make myself just get the border done. Oh, I hit my head. So very, very nice. So I'm really enjoying stitching on that. So that is the Pollinator Sampler by Mud Puppy Stitchery. And those are my whips, are my works in progress. So I do have some happy mail that I want to share with you. And look, this is a beautiful postcard that Catherine sent. And it's from, it's Anna's hummingbird, which are the hummingbirds that I have. And they are also common to the Monterey Peninsula. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm so proud of it. Thank you, Catherine, so much for sending that. And then I talked about and showed pictures last time of the historical sampler October, is it October? Yes, the October Cotton and Twine box. And I have received the box now, so I wanted to show you what was in that. This can be purchased until October 31st. So this is the chart. Isn't that gorgeous? And I will tell you if it may be just the color chart. Yeah, it's just the color chart. There's another picture of it as well. It comes with the backing fabric. I put that there. It has the thread and the needle. I think they're, oh, I see the needle. Okay. And this is the 32 count linen and this beautiful palette. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous. They are some of my, I do really, really, really enjoy these colors. And then it has the needle. You get your tea bag of Earl Grey tea. And this gorgeous little metal ornament. Isn't that sweet? And a chocolate sucker reindeer. It looks so good. So that box, so, you know, they changed their subscription service to 3 choices, okay? So you can get the box, which runs about 22 pounds, 20 to 22 pounds. I think there may be a difference between the 16 count Aida and the 32 count linen. You can get just the chart, the fabric, and the floss. That runs around 14 pounds. Or you can get just the PDF. So even if it's, you know, you decided on October 30th, you could still get the PDF and still work on it and have something beautiful for Christmas. So the Magical Gingerbread Stitch Along started and the first part has come out. I thought I was going to get a start on that, but I didn't. I may have that next time. So those, I didn't make any purchases this time. So that was pretty good for me. All right. So my plans will be to, I think I have talked it out as I've talked to you. I'm going to make Smith Sampler my focus piece. So it's going to get 7 days a month until it's finished. I will continue to dabble in my Halloween, and I'm going to be working on Aria's sampler because I need to have that finished by the middle part of November. And then I will just stitch on, you know, whatever calls to me because I do love that. So to recap today, all right, the giveaway is going to be a chart, a PDF chart from Diana Bloom Designs. And so if you will go look at her Etsy store, look at her charts, and then if you are the winner, you can pick out the chart that you would like, and I will get that and have that emailed to you. So that, and the keyword will be bird. Now let me make sure, yes, the November 2nd Zoom, I have given the 10 names. If you haven't given me your email address, please go to the Google form, which will be linked below. And I will send that link out about 2 or 3 days before the scheduled meeting. I am going to pause our scheduled Zooms every 2 weeks until the first of the year to let us all get through the holidays, because they can be a good thing and they can be a stressful time. And so let's handle those the best way that we can and what is best for you. So, okay. I think that, yeah, I think I touched everything. Let me just look at my notes just one time. Make sure I didn't write anything on the other page. Okay, so let's go through our mantra. Let's love. Let's care for each other. Let's be empathetic, compassionate. Let's be there for each other. It's still October. Let's get our mammograms done. We need all this love right now in our world. So I think that I've covered everything on the table. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. I love each and every one of you to the moon and back. Your presence in my life is such a positive force. Goodbye. Until next time.
What you guys doing?
It's a new cleaning crew.
Hehehe